So I found this cute little table when I was at Goodwill, and I recognized it from Hobby Lobby, and I love the idea of it, but I don't love the color. I mean, for me, part of the appeal of like a paint palette is like bright, pretty colors, like all splattered together. So I had an idea to repaint it. I wanted to paint it like a just plain wooden palette, and then I wanted to make these little paint splatter coasters to put on it for pops of color. I thought that would look really cute. So I sculpted them out of some like oven baked clay, and they're a little lumpy. I'm not gonna lie, but I like how they turned out. I made one with like a custom little hole to put like a drink or something in, and the rest of them flat so that they could fit any size drink or cup or mug or whatever. And I put these cute little corks on the bottom so that they wouldn't slip around. They look so official. Look how cute it turned out. I'm so happy with the way it turned out. And then I put it in my Rapunzel room so that it could, fit in there, I guess. I mean, she doesn't have one in her tower, but I think it looks nice. So there you go.
Change, I can change, I can change, I can change, but I'm here in my mode. I am here in my mode, and I'm a million different people from one day to the next. I can change my mode. No, 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 no.
I've been putting off making this video for a while because I feel underqualified to be making a tutorial for anything. But just know going into this is just a hobby for me. I am definitely not an expert by any means. So I'm starting out by just digging through my fabric and finding some things that I think will go together. For the sweater in that first clip, I used some pretty thick, heavy fabric. They were actually curtain samples from an old furniture store, and that definitely bogged down my machine pretty bad, so I would not recommend doing something quite that thick. For these ones, I just used some other fabric I had laying around. I cut out the letters how I wanted them, and for these first few, I just used sewing pins to hold them down. And then for the last couple, I just used washable Elmer's glue, just like a regular old glue stick. And there are definitely better things out there that you can use. I'm just working with what I already have, and that has worked just fine for me. So I'm just sewing around the edges of each letter, and then at the end I'm going to go and back stitch a couple stitches just to make sure that it's all stuck in place. I would recommend heading over to YouTube if you need a more in-depth sewing tutorial. As you can see, the lines aren't perfectly straight. I'm not super concerned with it looking absolutely perfect because that's kind of the nature of this project. I personally like it to look a little bit frayed around the edges, so I just tossed it in the washer there and dried it just to make sure that all the letters are secure. And then I just went through and I clipped off some of the longer pieces that have frayed on the edges just to make it look a little bit cleaner. And here is the finished product available on my Depop.
白くけぶった雨上がりの静けさ古い映画の中オリーブ色のトレンチコートとハイヒール
I must admit it, I would marry you in an instant. Damn your wife, I'd be your mistress just to have you around. Take it, take it, take it, take it, take it, take it, take it. Wait a minute, if I could waste another love, keep my all to you, right? No matter who I change it to, I always wind up missing you. Yeah. Girl, you cool. This is me. I don't know.
People don't realize like your art makes art, you know, like it just it can hit people, and you don't know when or where or who or how, but you know, if you don't ever put it out there, then nobody can be hit by it, and then nobody can be, you know, nobody can create something out of it. And I think it's like important to just get it out there, so because there's gonna be somebody that gets something from it, you know, even if everybody hates what you're doing, if one person likes it,
Yeah.
you're creating art in that person's brain.
Making fun patches because I'm going insane.
The witness of change and the counteract. We gotta take the power back. We got
Hey, want to listen to some tunes?
Yo, MF Doom.
Today I threw the cutest Jellycat strawberry, and this one was tricky because I decided to turn it into a massive jar with a lid, which means first I had to sand the clay, and here's when I realized how weird the shape was going to be, so I left the walls a bit thicker in order to pull up the walls higher. And that is not quite the shape we're going for, so I pushed in the bottom and rounded out the top to create the right strawberry shape. And after blow drying it and slicing it off the wheel, I compared it to the actual thing, and I mean, there's nothing a good trim can't fix, right? So I came back a couple days later and really smoothed the top out, but for the bottom, I had to put it inside a chuck because the upside down strawberry kept tipping over due to the rounded top. And here's what we have now, which brings us to the most difficult part, which is hand building. So starting with our low legs, I made sure to slim and score each piece really well and actually attach it upside down so I can really seal the bottom together. And for the leaves, this part will form the lid of the jar. So I started off by sculpting 5 leaves, which I then attached to this base piece of clay to form the overall shape like that. Then I went ahead and created a line on each leaf before adding a foot to the bottom of the jar lid so it wouldn't slide around. And finally, for finishing touches, I used a loop tool to carve some texture on the strawberry body, attached a stem to the leaf, carved out her little face, and here she is. I can't wait to see the results after the first firing and follow along to see her glazing and final reveal. Goodbye!